Hi, I'm Margot Robbie.
Are about to face off in a game of Flip Cup. The winner will be taking home a sleeve of Solo cups and 2 rolls of toilet paper. Now, high stakes. No, they're really good ones. Yeah.
Okay, so there was a young, foolish pilot who wanted to sound cool on the aviation frequencies, and he was making his first approach to a field at night time. And instead of making the official request to the controller, he, trying to be funny, said, "Guess who?" And the controller switched off all the field lights and said, "Guess where?"
Now, did you audition with that accent, or did you learn it once you?
I did the audition with the accent, yeah. I actually, I sat down with my acting coach to go through the scene before my audition, and she said, "Oh, you know you're meant to be doing a Brooklyn accent." And I was like, "Well, what does a Brooklyn accent sound like?" And she was like, "Okay, pretend that you've got acrylic nails on and they've just been painted, so they're still wet." And I was like, "Okay, cool, so how do I do the accent?" And she was like, "Just do it." And I was like, "Okay." So I put my hands out like that and started doing the scene, and I was like, "Okay, well," and all of a sudden, you know, I'm getting my hair out of my face like this, and, you know, I was talking to her, and I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to her, and, you know, this attitude came out of nowhere. You won't regret this. I can eat more Taco Bell than anyone you've ever met.
That was amazing.
Sexy.
Nice.
And then I walked out and I got papped outside the hotel.
Yeah, paparazzi.
And, and my mum called me and she was like, "Oh, what'd you buy from Ralph Lauren?" And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "Did you buy something really nice from Ralph Lauren?" I was like, "I've never bought anything from Ralph Lauren. What are you talking about?" The bag my friend had given me to put all my stolen goods in was a Ralph Lauren bag.
Well, we found the photo that the paparazzi took of you. Do you want to see? Tell me if this person's guilty of doing something wrong. Look at this guilty human being. You were so stealing toilet paper right there.
Look at that face.
That
I'm
is
like,
you're like, don't look in the bag. Don't look in the bag.
can you imagine if the bag broke and just toilet paper went everywhere?
It made me laugh. I love it so much.
I was living the high life. I was literally filming Wolf of Wall Street.
That's how much yeah, what a good actress you are. Like, I just went to Ralph Lauren, no big deal. Like, there's 10 rolls of toilet paper
Got home
in there.
and I was like, winning. So you play it, chug it, and then flip it. Once it's flipped, you move on.
Yeah, no, you flip it first, then you drink it off the table.
Okay, yeah, I got it. I was actually just checking on the football scores because there are 2 really good football games on right now. So maybe that would surprise you. Yeah. Fun.
And by the way, there's nothing worse than when somebody does a bad Brooklyn accent. There's
It must be infuriating, yeah.
It is. It's like, and everybody has
almost
their
as
own.
Infuriating as the actual sound of a proper Brooklyn accent.
Where are you?
I personally love it. It's my favorite accent.
Oh, sure, but everybody else hates it. Right?
Meet me in the bathroom in 5 minutes. I made a bit of a mess in there and someone needs to go and clean it, please.
Look. Mark, get set, go. Don't get cocky. Completely ridiculous. Margot Robbie, the champion! The champion!
the big news when I go back to Dolby, everyone's like, oh, what's been happening with you? And I was like, oh, I did a movie and stuff. And what's been happening out here? And they're like, we're getting a big W, which is like the equivalent to a Target. And for 2 years, all the town talked about was getting this big W. And then Big W came, and then everyone would talk about how good Big W was. So, so for a really long time, that's been what's happening out at Dolby. But everyone's so sweet there, and they're you know, whenever I get in the papers or anything.
Oh, they must get very excited.
Everyone passes it around at Bridge Club and puts it on the fridge and. Giants and the Saints, yeah. And they're both playing right now, like literally right now.
Damage has been done already because
thank you, Jimmy. Thank you so much.
You are very naked in the movie for a lot of the film.
Yeah.
And did they tell you about that going in? Or is that a surprise?
Yeah. So that was a small point of contention with my family. To tell the truth, ironically enough, I just flat out lied to my family for a really long time, and I said, I don't care what you hear, there is no nudity, I'm not doing any nudity.
Oh, really?
Ignore anything anyone's saying, there's no nudity. And then I thought, well, the movie's gonna come out and they're gonna see that there's nudity. Okay, so I changed that, and the lie evolved to, well, actually it's a body double and they just CGI'd my head onto someone else. And my family don't have anything to do with the entertainment industry, so they totally bought it, and they were like, they can do that? And I was like, oh, technology these days. You wouldn't believe what they do in Hollywood. So who wants to hear more about volumetric data? Yeah! Miles does.
I love it.
You love that much volumetric
my favorite kind of data.
I thought it was. So that might be the case.
If you could relocate Hollywood anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Australia.
And why is that?
Because then I could be with my friends and family all the time. Like, okay, look, I'm doing nudity, but, you know, you should read the book first, and if you still want to see the movie after reading the book.
And will you be there to be with them while they're witnessing this?
I'm hoping I'm going to be home when it comes out, and then I'm just going to fly the coop. I love Khaleesi. She's such a badass. I signed with a great management company over here, Management 360, but I actually almost blew it. We were just talking about this before in my green room. My Australian agent was with me and had set up a meeting with my American manager, and he was asking things about myself, blah, blah, are you this, are you sporty, are you competitive? I was like, competitive? God, I just did this eating competition back home and I won it. It was spaghetti bolognese eating competition. So yeah, I'm very competitive. And I could see my Australian agent just kind of froze and was like, don't tell that story, don't tell that story, don't tell that story. I should warn you, I am a bit of a screamer when I stab people.
That's good. Okay.
No one's going home with this person. Okay. Well, now that everyone can access the voxels and work with them, a team at DreamWorks Animation created an open VDB. Open VDB is, I'm sorry.
What's so funny, Margot? It's just the name of the software.
I don't know why it sounds so sexual to me.
Get it together.
Open.
Who's your date tonight?
I don't have a date. My publicist.
Wait. You don't have a date? So are you looking for someone?
I'm not looking for a date.
Are you single right now at the moment?
Yeah, I'm always single.
Wait, well, how are you always single?
Because I'm never in one place long enough to get a boyfriend.
Independence Day finally, man, 2016.
That's right. Yeah.
Why did it take so long, man?
I'm not doing it. I'm not. Don't get that look on.
I love that movie so much.
So you're not doing it.
I'm not in. Okay, guys, listen.
We are going to talk about
Is that your favorite? What's your favorite Will Smith
No.
movie? Is that your favorite one?
Probably Independence Day. I love Independence Day.
She
Well, you gotta
wasn't
start saying
born for
focus,
half
though.
of my movies.
Yeah, right.
I wasn't
Did you
around.
catch him on DVD?
I haven't seen any Fresh Prince, but
How can you not see any Fresh Prince?
See what I'm saying?
everyone,
Are
he
you
mentioned
serious?
Jazzy Jeff one day on set, and I was like, who? And he was like, looked around, I thought he was going to hit me. I was like, I'm sorry.
No,
Today.
that's okay.
20 years ago, I was 3 years old. Because I was born in the 90s, and people get this sickened look in their face when I say that. They're like, oh God, you were born in the 90s? I was graduating high school in the 90s. So I was 3, and I was on the Gold Coast, and I was probably in daycare or something. Finger painting or climbing a tree or something. Hello, everyone. Hi. Hi. So here I am. I'm going to tell it on national TV.
Yeah.
So,
is this a true story or a
this
lie?
This is a dead set true story.
Okay, all right,
I
yeah.
won a spaghetti bolognese eating competition.
Well, against who? A mouse?
No, no, not against a mouse. This is so immature. Open VDB is available as open source. OpenVDB is available as open source software and provides a powerful tool set to process.
See, that's funny to me.
And manipulate the voxels, okay? To manipulate the voxels.
It's all about the voxels. Nice.
We were having an argument one day. He was saying he was hungry. I was saying I was hungry. He was saying I eat more. I was saying that's just rubbish. I eat a lot. And he was like, well, I'm a guy. And then that was the end of it. I was like, well, prove it, you know, like. I'm gonna get in trouble with this one. How attached are you to your penis on a scale of 1 to 10? Did you want the hand gestures in there?
That's perfect. You brought your own interpretation, which I really appreciate.
1 to 10.
Very generous on the 10. And finally, going.
How much did you wind up eating?
It was whoever could eat the most in 1 hour, and there were bets put on it. Everyone sat around and filmed it and was like arguing over it. And by the end of the hour, and I'm not kidding, it was probably the most physically and mentally difficult thing I've ever done in my life. I'm not lying, it was really hard. And at the end of it, I had eaten 1.8 kilos of spaghetti bolognese, which is equivalent to 4 pounds.
No way.
Measured to the noodle.
You ate 4 boxes of spaghetti?
Like, that's a bucket. Like, that's so much. And
That is, I don't think I could eat that much spaghetti, and I eat a lot of spaghetti.
I'm telling you, it was really impressive.
We
were at rehearsals yesterday for this because I'm presenting, and they put everyone's cardboard cutouts on their seats, and his was there, and I walked past, and I was like, oh, hey, welcome. I like sat down, put my arm around him, gave him a little kiss, and I beat him by 500 grams. He ate 1.3 kilos, and I won the pride of like all the crew, and it was a momentous moment. It was beautiful, and then they called me back to set, and I was on the ground and I couldn't move, and I was like, and they're like, no, stop messing around. You got to get set. I was like, I can't. And they're like, get the nurse. And they called the nurse, and she came out. I told you not to do that stupid spaghetti eating competition. I was like, oh, Sal, help me out. And so she gave me the whatever they give toddlers when they swallow poison.
Oh, Ipecac.
I'm not sure, but she was like, drink that and you'll spew in 2 seconds and you'll be right. So.
You're so nice with fans. You take pictures with fans. There's lots of premieres. Like tonight, was he?
Yeah, tons of pictures.
Was he up and down that red carpet?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Margot, yeah. He was, yeah.
Gotta get the green one.
Could we hurry it up? Yeah. We get it, yeah. Well, no, and you have come up with Labour say.
This is the point in the story where back
Where
in
the
the meeting,
agent didn't like-
my
yeah.
Australian agent went like this.
Where you won the show
Literally
vomiting
shaking
competition.
his head. I was saying this to my American manager. I was like, and then I drank it and just spewed up 4 pounds of spaghetti bolognese.
Yeah.
Like projectile. Like, have you ever seen like that movie where she is possessed and she throws?
Wow.
It was like that. And then he signed me, and here we are doing Wolf of Wall
There you go.
Street.
You know what?
Voxels, ladies and gentlemen, voxels, okay?
Yes, there we go. The open in OpenVDB is important. By making it available to everyone, it has become the state-of-the-art workflow choice for many studios, large and...
You're such an idiot. I'll bet you're wondering why I'm smiling so much. You'll smell it in a second.
Yes.
Had to get a fart joke in there, just
Always.
Just had to get
Always
a fart
win
joke.
the bet.
One thing that you think George Clooney can't do.
Get married, it seems.
All right.
I'm sure he could. He just hasn't met me yet. That's the problem. He hasn't met me yet.